All right, so it's my third video of the day. So if you guys see three separate videos with me wearing the same shit, it was all done in the same day because I just made two videos and it brought me to a third topic that I want to discuss. So today's video is going to be about numerology and astrology and pretty much how I view things and how I'm kind of gonna give you guys a brief introduction to it all. If you guys do not like really understand it or are skeptical about it, because the reality is you're in a fucking simulation. I hate to break it down to you. You live in a fucking void. There's a billion fucking planets. There's a billion fucking stars in the universe. Yet the only one that's closest to us is 93 million miles away, and the rest are billions away. And we'll never be able to see it. Like, it makes no sense. How is this not a fucking simulation? Go into my video about cats if you guys want to hear more simulation talk. But the video I want to talk about today is numerology and astrology, giving you guys an introductory breakdown to kind of like how I view the simulation and how these numbers and the astrology all correlates for each other. So let's start off with numerology. What is numerology and why do I believe that this kind of makes sense? So for me, I view life as we are in some sort of simulation because a lot of the things can be there's a lot of energy. First off, I believe in energy, and I believe energy can be carried and manipulated through different types of means and sources. So, for example, language is a form of energy that's been manipulated and specifically crafted, specifically the English language, where a lot of the language from English is kind of like it's like as if English is perfected for their craft, for their spelling, for their witchcraft. So it's called spelling. Like the way that the alphabet and the numbers align with each other is not coincidental. So that's a very important factor to. He's not eating factor, right? I need a Fight Club video in the background. I watched this guy analyzing evil. Shout out to him, bro. But going back to what I was saying, energy, right? In a simulation, numbers, binary code, ones, zeros, the matrix, like all that shit is fucking real. If you're watching this video, I'm telling you it's real, so it's fucking real. Like, you did not stumble upon this video for me to be feeding you bullshit. And I told my dad, like, do you think God would give you a son who's gonna just give you a bunch of bullshit and lies and tell you shit that's not true? No, he's not. That's why, like, you guys need to understand is that sometimes you come across these types of knowledge and types of videos when the timing is right. For me, when I came across numerology and astrology back in 2019, bro, I was at my fucking lowest. I was at like, realistically, whatever my lowest I experienced, I know it ain't shit to majority of people. But it was down bad. And for me, it was still my most down bad moment. I'll never be that down bad again. But that that knowledge came to me at that point in my life, and that's something that kind of reinforced my belief in why this shit is true. Because as one thing was kind of, let's say, crumbling or whatever, another thing came in to kind of like balance that out. And one thing I do want to say about the skepticism behind it all, and it's fair because it's very hard to swallow. Like, literally, I started learning about this in 2019. It wasn't even until 2024 where I was finally like, yeah, bro, like, this shit is legit. So here I'm following the numbers, I'm following the astrology, and I'm still like, no, I don't know about this, I don't know about this, I don't know about this. But I had to finally give into it. So now I'm gonna give you guys. Sorry for the long-winded introductions. I'm not, like I said, I'm just kind of like yapping on these videos, just sharing my thoughts however they come out. But I want to get down into the breakdown of each of the numbers and each of the zodiac, the Eastern astrology of it all. So, numerology 1 through 9 are your base numbers. Then you have master numbers, which are your true old souls. Just because you listen to, 50s blues and Frank Sinatra and, shit that was back in the 10s and 20s does not make you old soul. You just like that shit. That's fine. But you can easily tell old souls by whoever's born on the 11th, 22, or if their total numbers add up to 11, 22, or 33. Let's get in for the individual numbers. The one life path. So first off, how do you calculate your life path? You take your individual birthday numbers. So mine, right? 4 plus 1 plus 0 plus 1 plus 9 plus 9 plus 9. I'm born 410 1999. So when you add those numbers up individually, you get 33. So me, I'm a 33 life path. But since I'm born on the 10th, you also have to account for that number as well. So you would do 4 plus 10 plus 1 plus 9 plus 9 plus 9. That would give you 6 or 42, which were 42, 4 plus 2 equals 6. Any number that you get up when you add your birthday, if it's 11, 22, or 33, you do not reduce it. You do not reduce it. So me, I have this 33-6 vibration, what they call it. So I flip between two of these vibrations in my life where sometimes I feel like I want to conquer the world. Sometimes I just want to chill, just smoke, you know? So for me, it's that balance of which type of life do I want to live? I could live the comfortable life and chill and have a good balance because I always have that 33 energy to kind of keep me afloat. But if I really want to lean into the true grandeur and my true potential of life, I need to be working within that 33 energy. So let's go in and describe those numbers. So for you, you have your life path and your dayborn number, which for me is 10, which is 1. And that's another energy. So 1, let's start it off. 1, masculine, male, leadership energy. That's what this 1 represents. The 1 is the initiator. The 1 is someone who's going to go ahead and who's aggressive. Lawyers, actors, anything that starts with the A kind of like that kind of correlates with what a 1 is. A 1 is going to be the person who gets in your face and who, is supposed to be that leader. Why is this shit so bright? God damn. Making me look fucking yellow. So for me, as a person born in the 10th, I'm someone who needs to be a leader. I'm someone who needs to be vocal. I'm someone who needs to be out in front and constantly, being alpha. I can't be a bitch. I can't afford to be a bitch. It's not in my energy to be a bitch. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you're born in the 2nd, that's a little bit different because the 2nd, the number 2, is a diplomat. Is somebody who is supposed to be an arbitrator, someone who's supposed to be peaceful, someone who's supposed to be feminine, not in the sense of womanly, but feminine in the sense they're supposed to be a little bit more in tune with their softer side. Now, 2, the only way to get 2 energy is through being born on the 2nd. So there's no 2 life path because you just can't. You'll get 11, it add up to 11, and that's what it is. So the only way for you to have any pure 2 energy is to be born on the 2nd. 3. 3 is a number of communication. 3 is a number that likes to have fun. 3 is a number that really likes to go ahead and, be the life of the party. It's childlike energy. 3 is, that one friend who's 50, that one chick that's 50 that looks like she's fucking 35. You know what I'm saying? It's very youthful energy. So for people who have this 3 energy, like, for example, my friend, we call him SpongeBob because, my friend, I'm a 33-6. My other friend's a 33-6. We have a friend who's a 1 life path. And then my friend, he's a 3 life path. So we make fun of him because he's all, dancing, goofy, happy-go-lucky. I'm like, that's your energy, bro. You're supposed to be into that. You're supposed to be that. For me, it should don't work for me like that, bro. I just can't be like that. So for 3, have fun in life. You live life on easy mode, so take advantage of it. 4. 4 is a number of law and order, structure, discipline, hard work. If you're a 4 life path, you're getting no fucking breaks in life. That's just it. It's tough, man. It's tough, But the reward, and the thing is, with a 4 life path, just work hard and shit will work out in your, goddamn. Shit will work out in your favor as a 4 life path, as long as you're willing to work hard. So that's the good news. Of course, that works for everybody in life, so-called, but the reality is that's the only way it works for a 4 life path. You're not going to stumble into some bullshit. 5. 5 is a number of change, travel, sex. E, 5th vowel, sex. This is that bad bitch. That's that bad bitch right there. And she's too bad. You're like, damn, how is she that fine? She's probably born in the 5th, 23rd, 14th, 5 life path. That's literally how it is. If you're have this 5 energy, you tend to be more good looking. You tend to travel a lot in life. You tend to go ahead and change. Inconsistency, freedom. That's what 5s crave. If you're a woman, if you're a man, use that 5 energy to abuse it, you're going to hell. You failed. Incarnation failed. That's how it works. 6. 6 is responsibility, the humanitarian, home, and family. The 6th life path is going to be the one who's going to be, oh, mom, what do you need? Dad, what do you need? How can I help you? This and that, this and that. I got that 6 energy, bro. That 6 energy is about family. For me, family is the only reason why I do this shit, you know? So, as a 6, you're going to have more responsibility in life. If you go into 6 personal years, which we can get into personal year, you just add up your birthday and then the total universal year. That's what you get. 7. 7 is intelligence. 7 people on average are going to be your smartest individuals, whether you're a 7 life path or born in the 7th, born the 16th, the 25th. These are going to be the individuals that have an easier time grasping things. They're just going to be naturally smarter. They're going to be naturally more intelligent than most people. But this number also is a loner number. So while 1 might also, you can't spell alone without 1, 7 is a very loner, introspective number. And it's a very connected number to the master numbers. 8. 8 is going to be your money, balance, karma, infinity. You know what I'm saying? I can't do it. I wish I had they need AI where I just edit and boop right there like that. So what I'm saying, 8, it's a pendulum. You're either on the top or the bottom. There's no middle ground when it comes to 8. So for you as an 8 life path, or if you're born on the 8th or whatever numbers out up to 8 on a fucking 26, 17, those shits, you guys need to be balanced. Always have money for a rainy day because it will come. It's just how it is for 8 life paths. That money comes and goes, and it's, you always want to make sure you're on the right side of that 8. Karma, what goes around comes around. That's what all the 8 represents. It's literally the fucking infinity symbol. There's literally, boom, all connected in the shape. Shapes are a form of magic. Numbers are a form of magic. Spells, it's all like that, bro. It's all like that. Pay attention to how these fucking shapes look, bro. The fucking 8, bro. It's not a coincidence. Not a coincidence. And lastly, of the base numbers, I like to call them 9. So 9 is the youngest of the souls. The 9 is the adaptive. So I like to view 9 as kind of as a baby soul, they made it so you adapt to your environment. So it's you fit in, so you won't be out of place. The problem is with the 9 is their reflection, and they're often if you have a friend who's a 9 life path, they're often going to be reflecting to you. I mean, that's life. That's people in general. So it's not very saying much when it comes to a 9 life path, that they're going to be like reflections of yourself, because the reality is anybody who you come across is a reflection of yourself. But with the 9 life path, this is going to be the younger soul. This is going to be someone who kind of, I don't want to give out too much sauce. But essentially, 9, think about it as you're adaptive. You adapt to any situation. You know what I'm saying? Now let's go to the master numbers. 11, 22, 33. First off with 11. I guess I should have gone through famous life paths as I gone through this, but when I come to think about the number 11, I think about Kobe, I think about Michael Jordan, I think about Kyrie Irving, I think about, we can go into streaming, speed. Aiden Ross is born on the 11th, I think. Podcasting, Joe Rogan. A bunch of other motherfuckers are 11 life paths. You'll see a lot of people who are popping right now are 11s, because 11 is charisma. 11 is high energy. 11 is the master visionary. So as an 11 life path, do the math right now, whether you're born on the 11th or if your total numbers add up to 11 or 20, because 20 is also 11 as well. Shout out to anybody who can guess why. And, if you're new to this, if you know, you know. But if you don't know, take a guess. 20 being the hidden 11 is, that's another thing. But the 11 life path itself is someone who's going to need to understand how to control their emotions in this lifetime, because emotions for them in particular are, my hair look like that, boy. My hair look like that, boy. 11, the emotion, the emotions for an 11 can literally break them down. You know what I'm saying? So they need to really learn how to transmute that emotion, because that transmutation is what's really going to propel them further than anybody else. You know what I'm saying? That energy, that emotional energy that they're able to carry and transmute is literally the power for them. And of course, this works at different levels for other people as well. Of course, energy can be transmuted regardless of who you are. But with an 11 in life path, that's like the core of their life, you know? 22, often referred to as the master builder. So with the 22 life path, this is someone structure. My mom, 22, she's born on the 22nd. She's a one life path born on the 22nd. She's literally the bedrock for our family. You know what I'm saying? And as a 22 life path, your goal is to understand, you want to build something that fucking lasts, man. That's everybody's goal. But in order for you to really pass that incarnation, I didn't even talk about reincarnation, boy. That's why the system works, bro. That's why the system, it's reincarnation, man. There's no other place to go, you know, if you fail, you know. It's in my opinion. I actually, I won't even doubt that. I'm not even gonna say if you want to play in this simulation, I should say, if you want to play in this game, those are the rules. I don't know about any other games, really. I don't know about any other games. This game, these are the rules. 22, you're the master builder. George Washington, you need to build something that's going to last beyond your years. Truly. That's how you win that game. That's how you win that game. And for 33, for me, you know, there's levels to the 33. You could be a 633, you could be a 33-6 like me, and you could be a pure 33. There's going to be different levels. A pure 33 is going to be the most pure. You know, you're always going to be in that 33 vibration. Now, for me, as a 33-6, I'm going to bounce between these two. I understand what it can need to be a 33, so I can always act in accordance to that vibration, but I necessarily won't feel that vibration. Like when I feel like when I'm in 33 mode, it feels like fucking Super Mario when he has a star. That's how I feel like when I'm in my 33. Like it literally feels like I have a fucking Mario star. Like I can literally run through anything. And that's what it is. The 33, you're the master teacher. It's you who are going to be the one to clear the path for people to do whatever it is that you trailblaze. You're the trailblazer. You're the one who sets the example for others years down the line. You can look at James Naismith, who started basketball. And I'm this video over, boy? Oh, damn, I keep hitting this fucking mic too. James Naismith created basketball. I'm blanking out on, there's so many 33 life paths out there. I don't know why I went basketball, because I was literally just talking about sports metaphor in the previous video. But as a 33 life path, it is your goal to completely change shit. Change shit up, bro. Change the fucking game. I guess Dexter's fitting. I love Dexter. So very fitting. But that's pretty much it for the numerology of it all. I've gone really briefly into a lot of this. I learned GG33 from this, and then I, you know, take it a step further. As a 33 life path, shit comes to you, bro. Shit comes to you. That's literally how it works. In terms of the zodiac signs, don't want to do it, but fuck it. I'll do this all in one video. I don't give a fuck. Excuse me. So there's 12 zodiac signs, right? And the thing with the 12 zodiac signs, and I should have came with a little bit more receipts here, but there's a consistency with what they call like a 12+1 system. So you have like 12 jurors, 1 judge. You have 12 zodiac signs, 1 sun. You have there's other examples of this. I'm drawing a blank right now. Maybe I'm not doing the best case at trying to prove this shit to you guys, or at least give you guys examples of why I believe this knowledge to be true. But one thing that you will realize, so like in before they perverted the word woke to be like, you know, bullshit ideology and like leftism and all that shit, right? Woke used to mean like you were aware to kind of like the world and what is going on behind the scenes. For me, that curtain was revealed in 2017, which was actually my enemy year. So, me, I'm understanding the true nature of what this world really is. And I'm going through all these different sources, all these people. And the thing is, you really know where truth kind of, where the truth is where you have different people who have kind of the same idea of the world, but different perspectives, and they kind of connect at a point. So I have somebody, I used to watch people who were very actually Christian that were exposing a lot of the things going on in the world with different groups, but they were always very Christian focused. And for me, that never really resonated with me because, well, you know, I'm not going to deny Jesus Christ. I would love for Jesus to be real. I personally, I choose to believe as a non-Christian, as a non-Catholic. You know, I was born, my mom's Catholic, my dad's Muslim. I choose to believe Jesus was real. I can't prove it, nor do I really care, but I understand what he truly stands for. And I want that energy to be present in this world. So that's why I try to believe in Jesus. And, you know, at least I love what he stands for in an actual sense, not to be worshipped, but to be what it means to be Christ-like. I go all this to say, I don't even know what the main point was. Let's just go into the zodiac signs. Let's go into the zodiac signs. So, the first number, rat. Well, the first on the in the Eastern astrology, the first sign is a rat, and the rat is what we're currently under in this current form of the matrix that we're in. We're ruled by the rat, matrix, rat. You can't live without what? Water. Can't spell water without fucking rat. That country everybody's talking shit about, founded in a rat year. So think about that. Think about that. The rat is a manipulator. The rat loves to play its own the rat likes to play by its own rules. You know? The rat is what rules this matrix, and the rat is kind of what people think the snake is. Where backstabbing, you know, when they call people rats, that's more aligned with a rat than an actual snake. So I feel like the rat is the rule of this matrix. If you're a rat, you know, I think you could be a manipulative person, but you're also very family oriented. The rat is going to ride the hardest for their family, which is very interesting given that it's the first sign rather than the sixth. That's how it is. Two, the only two soulmate combinations in Eastern astrology, the rat and the ox. The best connection that you could have. So the ox, the second sign, is the enforcer. The ox is the one, body language. It's so funny. And this is why I believe in this shit. My dad, oh, fix your body language, fix your body language. And when I found out the ox and body language are correlated, I'm like, yeah, bro, like, it's like, he specifically, that's the one thing he always used to fucking complain about. Oh, bro, fix your body language. Me and my sister used to be like, oh, you know, back in the day when we were kids. But it's like, when I found out those two correlate, I'm like, yeah, bro, this is real, man. This is real. And it's like, yeah, you can't base off of one thing, but there's certain things that kind of just tick off in your head. Like for me, I was inclined to believe in numerology and astrology because they said, shit, I'm a 33 life path. Of course I'm the fucking pinnacle, bitch. Of course I fucking am, you know? So that's another reason why I kind of like clicked a little bit easier in my head for me. Cause I'm like, of course I'd be a fucking 33. Maybe a 1 life path, but I'm born on the 10th. So like, I feel like inclined to that as well. But if I was any other number, I'd be like, nah, this is bullshit. This is bullshit, bro. I'm a 3, nah, I'm a 4, nah, fuck that. But the ox is going to be, yeah, is like very stern, very, like I said, is going to be that enforcer type kind. So if you like that, ox is your go-to. The tiger, tigers, bro. Tigers can't be tamed. Tigers cannot be tamed, bro. Tigers cannot be tamed. So the tiger is gonna have okay, so let's also talk about compatibilities with these signs. So the rat also has this everything's trines, right? It's triangles. It's literally 12 zodiacs. So it's gonna be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. The first one, the rat, is friendly with the dragon, is friendly with the monkey, but it's also soulmates with the ox. The only type of combination there is with that. The ox has that soulmate connection with the rat, but is friendly with, well, let's also go back to the rat for a second. It's duality. Everything in this, I would say, if 99.99% of things, bro, in this matrix is about duality, polarity. The rat has those friends I told you, has a soulmate, but there's also an enemy of the rat. Each sign has an enemy. The rat is enemies with the horse. So it's very funny. We're in a horse here now, and we'll go into this a little bit more, but the 4 horsemen, 4D, 4 dimensions, 4, the horse, the horse is rule of the 4th dimension, 3, matrix, rat, whatever. The ox, I said, okay, so the ox is friendly with the rat. It's also, no, the ox is soulmates with the rat, but it's friendly with it's what? Ox, snake, rooster, right? 3, tiger. So I said tigers can't be tamed, very feisty, great bodybuilders, phenomenal bodies, and insane vitality. That's what that is. Insane vitality for a tiger. Tigers are friendly with horses and dogs. So for any time I say you're friendly with this energy, that means also in the years that you're in with those friendly energies, you get somewhat of a boost, you should say. Energy is on your side. So it's very wise to do a lot of positive things, often in your own energy or in these other years where you have friendly energy. Some years are going to be neutral, and then you're going to have that one enemy year. So for the tiger, the enemy of the tiger is the monkey. So upcoming 2028, if you're a tiger, look out for there. Look out for them. 4, cat. I did that video on cats before. I got a little bit into it. I talked a little bit about it before. Cat is a 4th sign. It's not a fucking rabbit. It's not a fucking rabbit. We literally did the whole RA, rat, water, matrix, rabbit, It's a psyop. That's how you know it, because they did it RA right there. And the rat and the cat have an intellectual rivalry. That's why you look at Tom and Jerry. It's very right there in your face with that one. The cat is bro, I'm not gonna lie, man. This might be just some bias. The cat might be the actual ruler of this fucking matrix, bro. I'm not gonna lie. The cat has been revered in ancient Egypt. It's literally such a fucking majestical. Look how this fucking dude walks, bro. But the cat is a psychologist. Excuse me, my bad. I should have moved away from the mic. The cat is a psychologist. This cat is going to really psychoanalyze you. The cat's going to really try to get down to the nitty gritty of why everything works the way it is. Why is this person like this? Why are you, the cat's going to try to identify those things. And a cat is never really going to, a cat shouldn't be the one to chase. The cat attracts. Look, let me show you an example right here. Neo, come here. No, what the fuck y'all doing? What y'all doing here? What y'all doing here? You see? Dogs will go up to you. And don't mind the fucking shorts, man. God damn. Don't mind the shorts. I said in the last video, man, I got these on Amazon. I want to work on these. They short as fuck, man. Don't mind the shorts. Don't mind shorts. But the cat does whatever the fuck it wants to do, man. That's just how these creatures are, bro. This is how these creatures are. And that's how you have to be as a cat. Michael Jordan did not give a fuck about nobody, bro. Like family and shit. But like in terms of whatever the goal objective was, he didn't give a fuck. You're either in my way or not. Like, get the fuck out of my way. He didn't care. They called him the Black Cat, bro. These niggas we don't give a fuck, bro. We don't. And then they go into that goddamn bathroom. 5, the dragon. The dragon is the leader. A dragon is stern. A dragon is like everything you'd hear in media about a dragon is how a dragon in real life should be. That's how you should move. You should move like you fucking have authority. Like people come in and like they should greet you like on a knee type shit for cats and dragons. For both those signs, yes. For both those signs too. They should be like, you walk in a room, they should be like, sir, how can I help you? That's how it should be. That's how your aura needs to be as a cat and dragon. Not saying for you to be a dickhead. Not saying for you to just be stern for the sake of being stern. It's for you to literally like go ahead and there's a aura of presence, of commanding and respect that these two signs need to put off for themselves. So like it's literally in accordance with that energy. The snake. So they call the snake the gatekeeper of the occult. They call the snake the wisest sign. They call the snake the most sexual sign. Kundalini energy, bro. From your spine all the way up here, to the base of your head. So it's like when you look at 33, that's why I say snakes can only be a pure 33. You have the snake, so-called Kundalini snake in your body, your spine. You have the 33 vertebrae in your spine. They say Freemasonry goes up to 33 degrees. Water turns into a fucking liquid at 33 degrees. So you go from solid at freezing at 32, from 33 you're liquid. So what the fuck does that mean? Like, what does that mean esoterically? The fact that water turns into liquid at 33 degrees. I'm asking you guys because like there's some connection even deeper there that I haven't made. 7, the horse. 7 is the number of technology. That's why we see a lot of tech stocks booming this year. The horse is a very stubborn sign. The horse has a lot of vitality. A horse, what did they say? What that nigga Young Thug say? Horses don't study, keep going, boy. That's how a horse needs to be. Like, you have to be very... A horse, like... How do I say a horse needs to act? I'll say a horse, yeah. The main trait that you want to do is resilience. A horse is the enemy of the rat. And if we're in a rat matrix, that means that the horse is kind of, like getting depressed a little bit. Getting oppressed, I should say, a little bit by the energy. So a horse needs to always be going, constantly moving, constantly working hard. That's how it is. Workhorse. That's how it has to be for most of you guys. Going on to 8, the goat. The goat is the money sign, one of the money signs. We'll go into the other one soon. The goat is literally the softy. Goats are not meant to be demanding. Goats are not meant to be very aggressive. They're more along the lines of like that 2 number, where you're supposed to be more of a diplomat, supposed to be more of an individual who kind of doesn't need to get their way across aggressively. So you need to learn how to get your point and do what you want to do in a non-aggressive manner. That's a goat. Then 9 is the monkey. 9, the 9th sign, adaptability. A monkey is very adaptable. Monkey is very smart. A monkey is a very good reverse engineer. As a monkey, especially if you're in America, you have a very big bonus because not only is America founded in the monkey year, you go to other cities like Miami where it's a monkey city and boom, shit like that can happen for you. That's why it's very important to align with the energy. Like, I live in a cat city, I made sure it was like that. I have no issues on here, man. I have no issues. Shit. So make sure that when you guys are like, this knowledge is how you use this knowledge. Use it to find a home, find a place to live, find a day to start your business, find a day to start something. Shit, find a day to start a relationship. That's how this shit works, because what you're doing is on these days is your energy is telling you what to do and what not to do. So we just went over monkey. So we have 2 more left. We have the rooster. So the rooster, I didn't even go over the enemy signs of the other ones. Fuck. Okay. So the enemy of the dragon enemy of the cat is a rooster. Enemy of the dragon is going to be the dog. And the enemy of the snake is going to be a pig. So we'll go over those. So right now we're on rooster. Rooster is very aggressive. Rooster is also very loyal. If you look at the word You look at rooster as two O's. Loyal, O. The 6, family. It's a loyal sign. So make sure if you're messing with a rooster, don't cheat on her, bro. Don't cheat on her. I can't mess with no roosters because, like I said, the energy. It's fine to talk amongst them. It's fine to be cool with roosters, like your enemy sign. It's really when you want to go into business with them, or if you want to, you see a rooster chick and you're like, she bad as hell, cock and pussy. That's what they call those two. It's very interesting how they use the cat and they use a rooster to kind of like have sexual innuendo like that, but in reality, it's kind of like a bad duality. It's a bad duality. So make sure roosters. They're gonna be loyal signs. They're gonna be very aggressive. So it's a 10th sign. So that number 10 is uh, very interesting. 11, the dog. Dog, 11 sign, the only master number sign in the zodiac. We have the dog, spelled backwards God. Also, soulmate connection with the horse. Well, it's not soulmate connection, but 7, 11 are soulmate numbers. So you see how the numerology can also be applied to the circularness of the zodiac sign, zodiac wheels. So 7 and 11, horse, dog, friendly energies, friendly signs, very, very compatible. The dog, loyal. The dog is loyal, not sexually, they say. Loyal to family, loyal to friends, but shit, a dog might want to go ahead and have some fun elsewhere and, sorry, my bad, But the dog is that 11 sign. The dog, you look at, Michael Jackson was a dog. 11 energy. It's a very, very, for lack of a term, lucky sign in a way. Same with the pig, which we're into now, which is the final sign. So pig is the richest sign. So a pig loves to have fun, man. Pig is going to have a lot of fun. A pig is going to pig out, whether it's food, whether it's women, whether it's money, that's how pigs are going to be. So as a pig, you just want to make sure, you have fun, but you also want to make sure that the people around you, aren't getting affected by maybe your lack of care. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of it. That's just a very brief introduction to all the numbers and into all the astrology things. A lot of the just stuff off the top of my head, really. Like I said, guys, I've been looking into this knowledge nearly 7 years at this point. So I was just going off the top of my head with a few, light items. Shit gets deeper. This shit is deep, bro. This shit is deep, man. And I wouldn't be on the internet talking about this bullshit if I didn't feel like, confident in what the fuck I'm talking about, man. Because this shit, a lot of people, they're just not used to it, which is fine. We're in age of Pisces now, we're age of Aquarius now, where people are going to be more inclined to this type of knowledge, and I think we'll see an insurgence, or resurgence in just kind of like the overall occult, esoteric type knowledge. As this decade ends and we move on to the next one, I just think this provides an edge. This provides an edge in life that can really help you and set you up very well in the future. Because what it comes down to is imprinted energy. The day you start something for the first time, the day you do something for the first time, it's imprinted with the select energy based off of the year, based off the date, based off the date. So it's very important to know when to imprint these energies and when not to, because especially if you want longer term success and longer term things to work out for you, it's very important that you take into account, because the reality is that the perfect idea started on the wrong day can completely fuck everything up. So that's all I'm going to say for this video. Long video. A lot of chatter. I might need to do multiple videos on this because realistically, I just kind of just went over everything, fairly loose. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Am I crazy? Am I whatever? I don't give a fuck. Fuck you. I'm trying to give you guys knowledge in games. So yep, that's pretty much it for this video. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.